Hi friends, welcome back to our Art in the Stacks class. Today we will be doing a watercolor painting of a cherry blossom tree. So for those of you who might not know what that looks like, you can Google it. They are these beautiful trees that can have like white or pink or purple blossoms. They're really pretty and it's going to be a fun watercolor, and we're going to be using a technique called splatter painting. So it might get a little messy, so grab some paper towels if you need it. And then a piece of paper, preferably one made to handle watercolors, because we will be putting a lot of liquid on the paper. And then a cup of water. I have 3 brushes. You can make it work with whatever brushes you have. I have 2 square ones and then one of these to, sorry, I can't think of the name, to make it some smaller branches. And then I also have some red, magenta, violet, brown, yellow, green, and blue paint. So to get started, I'm going to get my thick square brush and I'm going to get it wet and then dip it in my blue paint, and then to dilute it a lot, I'm going to actually dip it back in the water so it'll be really light. And then I'm just going to gently go all over the top 3/4 of my paper. So once I get to the edges, I'm going to pull my paper towel over so that I can paint however I want and not make a super big mess. If you get a little too dark, you can dip back in the water and then spread it out. And you can make it as light or dark as you want. This is going to be the sky background, so I want it to be kind of subtle. And just quickly put some blue paint on there. You don't even have to cover all the spaces, just do as much as you want. All right, and so next I'm going to move on to the grass. So I'm going to clean off my brush and then dip it in the green and do the same thing where I also dip it in the water afterwards to dilute the paint. And then I'm just going to roughly sketch out where I want my grass to be. Maybe I'll make it a little curvy, like there are some hills. I'm going to do part of it in green, and then I'm going to clean my brush and go back in and do some of it in yellow. And I still have a little bit of green on my brush, which is great because it'll kind of mix these colors together. And it just gives it a little more personality than if I just made it all green. And you can mix them as you go. Then if I do want a little more green in this corner, and then blend the paints together if you'd like. Just have fun, do whatever you want your grass to look like. The next we're going to do the trunk of the tree. So still using my thick square brush, I'm going to take some brown. I'm not going to dilute it even more this time because I want this to be kind of dark, so I'm just going to do a couple of thick strokes and kind of form the base of my tree. And then you can either switch to a smaller brush at this point or just use the side of your brush, go out and start making some thick branches. Maybe I'll add a little more detail down here to make it more of a point, like the roots are going into the ground. And now I think I'll switch to my smaller brush. Get it wet, and then we'll go back to the brown and then make some smaller branches coming off of these large ones. And so for this, you can go outside and look at some trees to see what they look like, and you can mimic those branches. It's important that you don't try and make it super uniform because, you know, a tree's branches don't look perfect. So it actually looks better if they're kind of random. Let me put another big one right there and fill it out a little bit. And as I'm sure you can tell by being in nature, the branches get smaller the further out they get from the base. So you want the ends to kind of end in a skinny point. And you'll want some of them to be lighter than other branches, like if you're trying to give the illusion that they're farther back. So I'm going to switch to my smaller paintbrush, and again, if you only have one brush, that's perfectly fine too. And this time I am going to dilute it even more than that, to try and make some lighter branches to make it seem like the tree extends back there as well. So just put them wherever you want. I'm going to go through and add some little twigs down here. So just something like that. All right, and next I'm going to take my thick brush again, clean all the brown off. And then I'm going to dip it in my magenta and kind of dilute that and stick it back in there to get extra watery. And then this is the fun part, but it also gets a little messy, so pull out some paper towels if you have them, or lay down a tarp or something. You're going to hold your brush at the end and about like a hand's distance away from the page, and then you're just going to tap on the end of it and go all over. And this is going to make it look like the little cherry blossoms, because they're little, from a distance they look small and round and kind of like drops of paint. So then you can also use purple if you want. Or if you want, you can even put some red in there. But probably you could even do some white too, but I like to primarily do pink because that's what I think of when I think of a cherry blossom. So you can just keep doing that as much as you want. The more splatter painting that you do, the fuller your tree is going to look. And if you want to leave it sparse, that's fine too. And you can splatter some down near the bottom. I actually did a finished one earlier to make it look like the cherry blossoms are falling. And that's your easy watercolor cherry blossom painting. So please leave a picture in the comments showing us how it went, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.